So anyway, what I was trying to talk about earlier before we started recording, is that you know how when you say the little checkbox that says "I'm not a robot," and it shows you a picture of random stuff. You know, since Google's trying to create an autonomous fleet of cars, those images are actually from the cameras of the autonomous cars that are driving on the road right now.
Really?
Yes. So you are, by solving those questions, or you're actually helping Google's algorithm for the machine learning for the cars to actually teach them what?
I'm starting the evolution of cars. Ka-chow. Soon to be a thing.
There's probably going to be at least a few hundred people that know what I'm talking about, but when I designed my rocket engine, I decided, oh god, what did I try to use?
Izzy cans.
Izzy cans? Oh no, that's actually no. You're thinking of the model rocket. No,
the model rocket, or like
the model rocket used store-bought. Actually, the motor that it used was store-bought. But it happens to be the largest motor that you can legally buy in California without a permit. And I decided to stick that on a rocket that I made using aluminum cans. I'm sure I wrapped the whole thing in duct tape so that it looked like SpaceX's Starship rocket. And I didn't have any sort of mounting mechanism for the engine, so I decided to wrap it in tin foil so that it could fit inside of one of the cans. So we have an enormous rocket motor on a metal rocket that's mounted using aluminum foil. And I plan to launch that whenever it's not 170 degrees outside.
Where's the other log? Why did you put it there?
Let's go to sleep.
No.
Okay.
The workers never stop working. Okay. Sleep time. Why are you so slow, bro? Let us go to sleep, he says. No, I say. Goes to sleep. I swear we had more seeds than this. We had like a lot. Here. 1 pumpkin seed.
I'm trying to think of what I used. Yes, that's right. Manganese oxide.
He's the brains. I am just the stupido.
Well, yeah. So when I designed my rocket engine, I decided that I probably a mixture of gasoline and hydrogen peroxide as a bipropellant fuel or propellant, I guess. And the way I designed it, and I'm looking at the design, and it's actually very inefficient and misses several opportunities. So what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to have a pre-burner, because pre-burners are complicated and they take expensive materials, so I didn't want to have a pre-burner, so I decided I'd try to use an electric pump as the fuel cycle. But I don't know where I'm gonna find. Actually, I suppose I could find a battery big enough to do that, but not on a real rocket. I wouldn't really use I wouldn't use an electric cycle rocket engine unless I happen to be. But yeah, long story short, I could use, because I wanted to run the hydrogen peroxide or found a ravine.
I saw that ravine.
So I wanted to use hydrogen peroxide and gasoline. What I would do is I would flow the hydrogen peroxide through the fuel lines, and I'd take a mesh, like a I was thinking of design sort of like so the powder, the catalyst for the catalytic decomposition of the hydrogen peroxide would probably be manganese oxide, which I would have crushed up as a powder, pressed between two screens, and as the hydrogen peroxide flowed through the screens, then it would catalyze and turn into oxygen gas and steam, and also releasing a lot of heat. But my missed opportunity was to use the heat generated by the catalytic decomposition to actually run the turbo pumps instead of using a battery, which is actually scalable. So if I wanted to turn it into a legitimate rocket engine to fly on an actual rocket of my own design, I would probably use that. And I don't know how I would start it. I mean, the rocket's going to be vertical, so I assume I'll just use gravity to initially flow the hydrogen peroxide through, simply to start the catalyzation process, which will spin up the turbo pumps, which will actually pull both of the propellants into the combustion chamber. I don't know exactly what the performance would be, but I think it would be similar to the engine used on the A4 that the Nazis used. Because they actually used hydrogen. Well, they used alcohol.
This is some information.
I forget exactly. Oh, I found an ocean. I'm gonna go in the ocean. I found. I don't actually know exactly what form of alcohol they used. All that I know is that most of the people that worked in the program, the Nazi missile program, they were in it for the fuel. So the fuel that they used on their missiles was a form of ultra-concentrated alcohol, and that form of alcohol delivered a decent performance to the rocket. But it was also drinkable if you diluted it enough.
I knew it. I was like, they were in it to get tipsy.
Yeah, so they were drinking the rocket fuel when nobody was watching. And they actually used a form of tripropellant. Well, they didn't really use tripropellant. Actually, it was kind of a tripropellant. It was sort of a monopropellant preburner with a bipropellant combustion. So they would use hydrogen peroxide and catalyze it. But the products of the hydrogen peroxide were released from the rocket. They weren't actually used. They used whatever oxidizer. I'm gonna look it up. Oh, I looked up A4 and I should have looked up V2 because people call it the V2, but the program was actually called the A4 program because it was the fourth rocket. Anyway, rocket reached a height of 80 kilometers after shutting off the engine. Fuel and oxygen pumps were driven by a steam turbine. Steam produced. Where did it go?
It went.
I'm gonna read the Wikipedia article. The V2, German Vergeltungswaffe 2, Retribution Weapon 2, a technical name, Aggregate 4, or the A4, was the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. The missile, powered by a liquid propellant rocket engine, it was developed during the Second World War in Germany as a vengeance weapon designed to attack the Allied cities and as retaliation for the Allied bombings against German cities. The V2 rocket also became the first artificial object to travel into space, crossing the Kármán line with the vertical launch of the MW18014 on 20th of June 1944. In service 1944 to 1952. What were they doing in 1952?
Question mark?
Yeah. Service history used by the German Army, the SS, post-war, United Kingdom, United States, Soviet Union. Oh, the United States used these. Oh, there we go. Propellant, ethanol. They used 75% ethanol, 25% water, and liquid oxygen. Oh, I thought that the oxidizer might be liquid oxygen, but I didn't know if they had the technology to actually produce that back in the 40s. And when it says 25% water, I assume they're talking about the steam turbine. That's right. You know, when I started to try to make my YouTube channel talking about Kerbal Space Program, I had that problem where the videos would be like 40 minutes long. And I would like, because I would get like a single flight in. So I would be like, oh yes, this episode we are going to space. We're not going to do anything else because that'll take over an hour. So it'd be like a single flight, and because I'd include all the design of the rocket, me building it, and then I include all the flights and stuff, and it was just the most boring thing ever. And then I decided that I would try to do off-camera work and edit it. So I would cut out the design of all the rockets, so all people see is me launching it. I'll skip through the ascent to go to orbit, so people they see the design of the rocket, they see the mission, and that's it. So I can get like 3 or 4 missions in about an hour. But that proved to be too much work, and I didn't want to try to learn how to use the software, so I promptly gave up.
Should have asked me, bro. Also,
Yeah.
while you're doing this, I'm on a murderous rampage right now.
Me too.
Mm.
Oh, I should have had you. Oh, never mind. That probably wasn't a good idea.
What do you mean wasn't a good idea?
I was gonna say I could have had you edit my videos, but that seems like that seems like slavery.
It's not slavery. I would do it willingly.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
I should have done that.
Dude. I was like sitting here like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just sitting here like doing nothing, and then like, meanwhile you're like frantically making video. Okay.
So anyway, next time I don't feel like sleeping at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm probably gonna redesign my rocket engine. 'Cause, like, looking back at it, I've noticed a couple things. Instead of using a self-impinging triplet for my injector design, I'll probably end up using a showerhead injector. Again, like I said, I probably use the hydrogen peroxide as my
Man's making rockets in quarantine.
thing. Yeah. No.
No, dang.
I'm about to go into a philosophical rant.
Okay, do it.
Have you heard? So if you heard of like the theory, like the whole oh, don't fall in lava. The theory of the whole universe being
Alive?
conscious, right?
Yeah. My dad and I
like
talk about it a lot.
Yeah, so like just as a thought experiment, imagine just for a minute that you oh no.
Oh no? That
Sorry.
I no. Oh.
Yep. That you have hypothetically you are the universe. Step 1, become the universe.
I am the universe. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait. So if you were like a god, basically, if you had omnipotence over the universe, like if you created the universe from your own consciousness, and the universe was an extension of your own consciousness, then I think it would make a whole lot of sense. Like, would you just sit there in some sort of magical chair or whatever, watching all these beings talk about things? Or, like, that would become pretty boring to kind of know everything about everything, don't you think?
I mean,
I think it would be a lot more entertaining to project your own consciousness forward. Like, if you had a wish, if you had like an infinite amount of time to do anything you wanted, I think it would be fairly reasonable for you to basically say, like, okay, if I know everything, this is getting kind of boring. I want to do something. So
be someone.
So I'm going to just pretend, just for 5 minutes, that I am
So much iron.
That I am like not omnipotent. I'm going to spend some time forgetting about everything and just be, just live in my own creation for a little while. Maybe you'd want to go for longer. Maybe, if you could do anything you want, then it would make a whole lot of sense to kind of just be, projecting your own consciousness over billions of lives, billions of times. Kind of like living a dream. Every 70 years, each of the units reset themselves. That's a lot more interesting, spending time learning about something that you don't know about, spending time with people that you didn't think that you have a connection to. It's interesting to think that
But then if you like project yourself as that person like a bunch of times, what's the guarantee that you're just gonna come over yourself like as a duplicate?
come over yourself. Well, no, that's
Find
the whole
yourself.
idea, that everybody's a duplicate.
Oh.
You are a duplicate of my consciousness, and I'm a duplicate of your consciousness. Our consciousness is the same. Well, maybe not in our current
State.
view of the word consciousness, but still, like, oh no,
Oh no, what? What happened? Oh
I
no.
messed up.
What you
This
do?
is not possible anymore. Oh no.
Yeah, that's what like. There's always gonna be like a loophole, honestly. Like, I feel like the type of like vlog, well, not like vlog, but like playthrough of the game changes whenever like somebody else is around, you know? Because when I was first starting this, I was like, oh hey, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be like, aha, and then suddenly rockets and philosophy.
Philosophy. Yeah.
Rockets and philosophy.